What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. In this situation here, I would say the Lakers must be careful. They need to be careful in regards to what moves they make. Now, Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss definitely make all the decisions in regards to how the team, goes, in regards to, who's on the roster, who should they go after. And of course, you can add LeBron James to that simply because, his word goes very far as well because of who he is. So the Lakers 2027 and 2029 first round picks. They have the first round pick. They have the first picks for both of those seasons, 2027 and 29. And with both of those picks, I would say both of those picks are very important. And, I was also reading LakersNation.com, where you can also go read yourself. But I was also reading there how important those picks are that they have. Now, I've spoke about these picks before because the Lakers were trying to acquire Kyrie Irving for a swap with Russell Westbrook. Now, when you look at the situation, the Lakers are still going to probably have to utilize those two picks because it seems like every team wants those two picks. And it seems like those two picks are very important to other teams that want to trade or have intentions of trading with the Lakers because they feel like that's going to benefit them going forward, of course, in which it will, especially if one of those two seasons there is a superstar to come out of college that can actually, turn the whole franchise around for whatever team the Lakers choose to trade with, whether it's Utah, again, for another player, and maybe even the Nets. So I think that's the reason why you see, reports about, teams like the Nets, Utah, and teams like that they're willing to make trades with the Lakers, as Utah already did for Patrick Beverley with THT, but they're willing to do more trades, or a trade will be proposed even better if the Lakers are willing to give up those two picks. And this is why I say the Lakers need to be careful, because when you give up picks like that, you're giving up your future, you're mortgaging your future for a possible player or players that you might get now that might not be worth a damn going forward or worth a damn now. And if you do feel like they're worth a damn now, then it doesn't mean they'll be worth a damn to help you win a championship. So, there is variables here that goes along with this whole situation. And I look at this as a situation for the Lakers to be very careful in, because to me, if you give up those two picks for one player, how do you know that player is going to pan out? As I said, how do you know whether that player is going to want to be there, build chemistry with the team, all in, all those type of things? Those are questions you have to ask. And see, the main player that we're talking about majority of the time, in most cases, would be Kyrie Irving, because that's the one that LeBron James wants the most. That's the guy LeBron James wants on his team. And if he's able to get Kyrie, he's almost willing to tell the Lakers to do anything to go after him and get him. But the Lakers are trying to be hesitant in some type of way, because those two picks are very, very, very important. Because honestly, listening to LeBron James is not going to make much difference in a couple seasons, because he's not going to probably be around. And if he's around, he's not going to be no good, hardly. You think he's not going to be no good. You think age catch up to him by then, but maybe, he'll defy that logic. We'll see. But more than likely, age will catch up to LeBron at that time. And I think that, you'll see more of LeBron on the decline if he's still in the league, or if he hasn't retired by then, So, or if Bronny hasn't, or one of his sons haven't came to the league by then. But my point is, I don't think he'll be a Laker within 2 to 3 seasons from now, especially him just signing the 1 or 2 year extension. Even still, if he is, he probably might not be the LeBron that he is now. But in the same aspect, the Lakers got to look at their future. LeBron's not going to be there much longer. They might actually trade Anthony Davis because they don't see any futuristic, pleasure in him either, because, watching him play is good when he's out there, but you get no pleasure in watching him on the bench, because that's where he's predominantly at most of the time. That's the reason why Charles Barkley referred to him as street clothes. And then on top of that, you look at Russell Westbrook for the moment that he's there. He's not playing like a top 75 player, and you really can't trade him because nobody wants your problem, which is him which is an issue for you. So nobody wants that issue unless you're willing to give up a lot more so they could take upon that issue and get, have a better advantage for themselves. And that's the way other teams are looking at it when the Lakers are trying to propose deals with them. It's just a bad situation for the Lakers to be in because they really don't have a lot of negotiable ways right now. They can't negotiate as much as they would want to because they're not in the driver's seat. And the Lakers are used to being in the driver's seat of any trade because they're used to having all the assets, the money, the everything, you know what I'm saying? The direction, the team, what they want to do, what players they're going after. And usually they have all they need to offer teams. And usually the Lakers are the type of team that can almost give a team an offer they can't refuse because usually they're in position in the driver's seat to do all of the talking in regards to trading. But now they're in the passenger seat and have to wait and hope that teams give them something in return that they can value just so they can get rid of Russell Westbrook. So I'm pretty sure any team they try to make a trade with is going to want one or two, if not both of those picks. And the Lakers really need to look at their options. Don't listen to LeBron James because you listened to him before when he said get Russell Westbrook, and he made a huge error by doing that because no other superstar player has been able to win a championship with Russell Westbrook. So that all told LeBron right there, it's going to be awfully difficult. Now LeBron ultimately, based upon the reports, is trying to rescind that by, asking the Lakers to acquire Kyrie, but it's awfully too much being asked of the Lakers to get a player like him. And other teams like Utah might ask for more unless it's a player like a Patrick Beverley, whose contracts are very minimal and low because he's not really that great of a player. So unless you're getting players like that, just guys here and there, okay, yeah, you can do those trades. But I mean, if it comes to big name trades, it's going to be hard for the Lakers to pull off anything. I mean, there was, reports about Kyrie, of course, Donovan Mitchell, other players, and it just seems to be difficult. Even Kevin Durant, I believe, but it even seems to be more difficult for the Lakers because of the position they're in and because nobody really wants what they have to offer unless they're giving up those two picks. So looking at, the sites and everything like that, just based off of what I've read, in my opinion, all mixed in one, my opinion on the whole situation is, if I were the Lakers, I wouldn't give up those picks. Not for a Kyrie or anybody, because like I said, you might get Kyrie, but he might only be there a year and leave, or he might not work out with the team and be disgruntled, and then you wasted your two picks on a player for no reason who you see already can be a problem to teams. Now he's trying to say he wants to change and do things different. That's great, only if he really lives up to that though in Kyrie, but we'll see what happens going forward. But if I were the Lakers, I try to find a way to keep those picks and see what futuristic player you can get for your future. Because I mean, those two picks, one of them could be a Kobe Bryant, possibly, maybe not Kobe, of course, but nobody's ever going to be Kobe. But what I'm saying is one of them could be a talent of a Kobe Bryant, of a, Shaquille O'Neal or something like that. You never know what those picks can turn out to be. So, I mean, it's like giving up those picks for those 2 seasons. One of those 2 seasons, you might land on a superior young player who you can see being a superstar in the league going forward, and that's going to benefit your future. And rather than, putting all your eggs into one basket now, trying to go after a player like Kyrie who's gonna require a lot from him being on the team if you ever get him. And like I said, it might not actually work out. So to me, the Lakers, I would keep my picks. I would try to trade with what I have. If teams want to make me an offer for Russell Westbrook along with maybe Patrick Beverley, and hell, maybe by next season you might add Anthony Davis into that. That'll be all you need to make the necessary trade that you need to be a better team. So with that being said, I will go along with that and save my picks and just kind of go from there and see what happens this season and see what you can get by trade deadline. Or if some miracle happens to happen before the season, you go along with that and you ride that out and take it from there. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.